Hey everyone, it's March 12th and pain has gone down a little bit. I am probably in ketosis right now. It's 9:30 in the morning and I've been fasting since 2 p.m. yesterday. So my doctor has me on intermittent fasting. So I'm doing 6 hours on, 18 hours off, and then just keto for those 6 hours. I also have a PET scan this morning in like an hour, and although I feel better, I think the anaesthetic is out, my brain's much clearer. There was a lot coming up for me last night, and I wanted to share about, I want to talk about trauma, because I wanted to share how I deal with trauma, since it's, when I work with women at the soul level, trauma's a third dimensional experience that gets lodged in your emotional body, and actually you need to move it out of your emotional body so that, soul frequency, the soul energy of your soul, which is of a different frequency, can move in and start to work through you and do the expansion. And a lot of the early women that were drawn to Alchemy of Women had a lot of trauma, like a lot. So I didn't speak much to that during that time, but I thought it's good to open that topic now. And the way that I'm just noticing my pattern around how I deal with trauma, I always experience, trauma twice. So the first time you have an experience, your body doesn't have a memory of that. It creates trauma, and then your emotional defense system holds on to it to remind you next time it comes around, or something like that comes around, that this is a danger and you have to defend yourself from it. So then the trauma response kicks in. And there have been many examples in my life where I've had an experience that's been traumatizing, and then I've experienced it again and healed it the second time. So actually, even with illness, because I'm 40, and 20 years ago I had like a physical breakdown, ended up in hospital and went on a big healing journey, and that's how I found Reiki. And so exactly 20 years later I'm having another one. I did heal from that one, and I'm hoping to heal from this one, and hopefully not have to re-experience it. Same happened with my children. First birth was traumatic, second birth was amazing. I can think of many examples, and there's one right now that's coming up for me. So in the first 3 months of post-diagnosis, I was going in for scans, and what was happening was they would biopsy me and it would create massive inflammation, and then I would go in for a scan, they would see another tumour and another one. And I had one scan and MRI in particular that I was so afraid of and traumatized by. And that's the one that's really standing out, I think, for me, because I'm going in for a PET scan today, and last night I was re-experiencing the trauma. And actually, I clocked it because before I met with my doctor here, I also re-experienced the trauma of meeting with the doctors back in Vancouver. And I told myself, okay, this is just coming up to be healed this time. So, yeah, this is what I'm hoping for. They're going to scan my whole body, and it's, you know, just to have a baseline and solidify the fact that it's just in my breast, nowhere else. And hopefully I'm going to heal this trauma of getting scans. But yeah, it's destabilizing, but I guess what I really want to say is, you know, trauma is your emotional defense system working. Like when get it when it gets triggered, re-triggered post the initial trauma. And honestly, it needs to be moved here in this dimension through bringing a different experience, different reference point, and having consciousness around it. So that's just like mental awareness, connecting to I'm having a response, and then drawing back, observing and saying we can have a different outcome this time. Yeah, because the alternative is to keep stay in the defense part, right, which is trying to keep you safe, and not move past it. Keep replaying or remanifesting it, and then your soul gets blocked out of that space inside of you. So, yeah, that's my download for just now. I have another one I want to share later today about giving and receiving. But I'm going to let it marinate a bit before I record. Thanks for listening. Bye.